Hello and welcome to our tutorial on how to use the Clover pom-pom makers. As you can see, they come in sets of two. We've got our large size, our medium size, and what we like to call our teeny tiny size. And you can see from our little diagram here what size pom-poms you get from each different size pom-pom maker. So really, it depends what you're going to be making your pom-poms for. If you want pom-poms to go on top of a hat, then you're probably going to be looking for the green and blue set, the larger size. If you're looking for decorative pom-poms to put in a wreath or perhaps string together into a garland, you might want some of the smaller ones. But we do tend to find that most people tend to end up buying both packs. So they've got all sorts of opportunities to make things like snowmen and little rabbits and all sorts of other creatures with their pom-poms. So we're going to show you how to use them. So I'm going to demonstrate using the yellow sized pom-pom maker just because it's a medium pom-pom maker and it will give you a fairly quick example. Now they come in two parts with little arms and legs, and what you have to do is get hold of these little arms and legs and lift up a pair of legs from one side. Now you can use any type of wool to make the pom-pom. You can use a double knit wool on its own, or you could use a couple of strands of double knit wool together, so you could combine two colours to get a multicoloured pom-pom, or you can use chunky yarn, which is what I'm going to use today. Chunky is quite quick to work with, so we should get this done quite quickly. So take the tail end of your yarn, and you want to just hold your thumb on the inside of your little legs here just to hold the yarn in place, and then you're going to wrap the yarn around the legs. It doesn't have to be even, but do make sure that you get right in at the base here with your yarn so that you have a nice even pom-pom. And just go backwards and forwards over the legs, filling in the gaps, making sure that you get right in to the very edge. And keep filling until you've almost filled it up completely, but you've still got ever such a slight dip here. You don't want your yarn to be going straight across the bottom, otherwise you've overfilled it and you won't be able to close it again. So we can see we've still got a little dip there, but it's nice and full. So once it's full, then you can close it, open the legs up on the other side, and then start to wrap your yarn around the other side. And you're going to do exactly the same as you did on the first side, making sure you get nice and close in at the bottom. Keep wrapping it round until your pom-pom maker is almost full, but not quite. About there, and then close it again. At that point, once you've filled up both sides, you can take your scissors and just snip off your yarn. Put it to one side and cut yourself another piece of yarn. Doesn't have to be very long. If I'm using double knit, I do tend to double my yarn up so that it doesn't break when I tie the knots. Then you're going to take a nice sharp little pair of scissors, and in the groove between the two legs, you're just going to cut all the way through, and this takes you back to the days of cardboard circles, because it's exactly the same process. Cutting the groove all the way around. Don't lift the arms and legs up at this point, because if you do, you're just going to end up with a pile of fluff on your table. Take your piece of yarn, take it round the groove, and tie it in a really nice tight knot. Really, really tight. So there's one. I do a couple, just to be sure. And at that point, you can then get hold of these arms and legs and lift them back up. And they should come up fairly easily. Once you've opened them, you can take hold of both of the white sides, give it a little wiggle, and they should come apart, leaving you your pom-pom. You can give it a little ruffle in your hand just to fluff it up a bit, and then give it a little bit of a haircut, because you will have a few little stray pieces of yarn where you moved from one side to the other and where you started and finished. So you can either leave on these two tail ends from when you tied it up if you want to hang it on somewhere, or you can chop them off. The choice is yours. But there you have your perfect pom-pom.